So let's fill out the fourth and the fifth intents in the bot. So I'm going to create a new intent, and the fourth intent is just going to be pure FAQ bot.yes. It's going to be the name of the intent, and as you might expect, you will have await pure FAQ bot. And because this is not going to give you any follow-up questions, it's just going to, so this, in this case, the user has said yes, it's just going to come back with a response which says use Dialogflow ES, which is, if you are using a pure FAQ bot, you only need ES and you don't need CX for that use case. So that's done. We have done with the pure FAQ bot.es intent. Now we can go ahead and create another intent, and this is going to handle pure FAQ bot.no. So let's go ahead and save that. And once again, the await pure FAQ bot is the input context. And here in this case, await slot filling is going to be the output context. So let's do that. Change this to 1. So the user would have said no. Let's go ahead and save it till this point. And then we are going to ask, do you need to use slot filling in your bot? That's the first response coming from the bot. Do you need to use slot filling in your bot? Now, a lot of people will have a vague idea of what slot filling is if they have been using Dialogflow for some time. But the truth is, a lot of people, the people use slot filling for a lot of reasons, and too often the reasons are not the good ones. And in fact, I have an article where I talk about how the bar for what will constitute a real slot filling bot is actually pretty high. The article is going to have this very long discussion, including a place where do you actually need slot filling for your bot. Okay, it's a very long article, so I'm going to click, sort of create a link which deep links into this article to the specific point. So that's the first thing. And the other thing is I need it as an information response, rich response, because it is, I have to have some text show up on that. So I'm going to ignore the image URL, and the action link you do need. So the action link is sort of the link where you want it to go. All right, so let's put this as the action link. And in the case of the title, it's going to be, do you need slot filling? Then I'll also have this additional stuff in the subtitle where I say what constitutes the bar. So let's write it like this. The bar for what is an actual slot filling bot is pretty high. So I'll just say that. You can see that it's a information card response type, and you can see that that's what it shows up as in this preview window over here. So let's copy this JSON to the clipboard and then go back to Dialogflow, and that's going to be the first custom payload. And remember that it's also asking another it's also expecting the user to click on yes or no. So we also need the JSON corresponding to that. So let's go back here and paste it and go ahead and save it. So now we are done with the intent number 5. Okay, so let's quickly test it and see that it's working as expected. So let's open it in this preview. And are you building a voice bot? No. And then this is, are you building a pure FAQ bot? No. So notice that now it's asking, do you need slot filling in your bot? And then it's sort of prompting with this message where it says, do you really need slot filling? Because the bar for what is an actual slot filling bot is pretty high. And if you were to click on it, you can see that it sort of goes to that deep link in that long article, which explains that, you know, most of the time people think that they need a slot filling bot, even though they don't really need it. And then it has these yes, no questions. And once again, these are not really handled. So it's going to go to the default fallback intent as expected. So this is what we have. So I've filled out the intents from 1 through 5, and I've also shown the examples of how we use these rich responses to sort of make your bot a little more useful, and the decision tree bot itself a little more useful or easy to use for your end user. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill out the other intents, but I'm not going to do that in the video. But you can just follow the same steps and you'll be able to get through to the end of the bot.